You think, or people have said that if you don't start in this industry in the young age, then, you're kind of just not going to make it.
Hmm.
But that's just something that if you're not really into trying to look for it, you don't really look into what it actually takes to make it. But since that thought came into my head, and I'm always been a person that as soon as something interests me, I end up going for it. I end up just start looking at what it takes to make it. What is it that I need? Start putting things in motion. So I only very in a very small way started seeing the kind of testing the waters. Okay, who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to go? But I didn't actually do anything forth to like go find classes and stuff. I maybe asked a few people around and I didn't get much of an answer. So I kind of was like, okay, maybe that was just it.
Hmm.
But it was not until maybe like a year later, I had let's just say an unfortunate incident where I thought, well, my life is over. And thankfully, that wasn't the case. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to wait for another tragedy to happen for me to actually pursue something that I really want to do and something with my life that I actually enjoy. And that is the turning point for me that made me go full throttle, full in into acting and never look back. And I haven't since. So that was maybe about 3, 4 years ago.
So was that, what did you do before? Like, what did you do, any performance? Like, were you dancing before at that time, or was that
Yeah.
around the same time?
Yes. No, actually, I want to say I retired dancing right before that. I danced most of my 20s, and it wasn't for anything other than the pleasure of it. It was just a passion, something that really brought me joy, and it was a disconnect from my actual profession, which is in law. I stopped because I knew it wasn't going to be a career for me. I wasn't doing it for that reason. I just didn't need to keep putting forth so much of my time and energy and effort into it because it wasn't going to be a career. And I was trying to figure out what else can I do with my life because I knew that I didn't want it to be law. I didn't want to stay where I was. I had too much creativity. I wanted to say that I wanted to pursue, and I didn't know how or in what way. And acting was just something that kind of just came into my mind. And it wasn't like I can't say I had a passion to act since I was a kid because that's not true.
Hmm.
But it did become a passion now. It is something now that I definitely want to do for the rest of my life as a career. And my goal is to be a full-time actress one day. So
What was the incident? You want to talk about it or not?
no, it's just only because a dog bit my face.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I bit my face here and had to sew this back. So I have scars in my face. I have a lot of scars in my face, but this one was a big one, and which is what I have here and put my
Oh
lips together.
shit.
Yeah, so I thought to myself, oh my gosh, like you kind of work with this, right? This is
Yeah.
what the world sees. So I thought if I ever wanted a career in acting or even modeling, not that I was trying to be a model, but anything that had to do with this, I thought it's over. I don't
Hmm.
have it anymore because there's no way I'm able to, or at least that's what my thought was. But when it healed and I tried to take care of as much as possible, I realized it wasn't that bad.
Hmm.
It's actually something that maybe you can't tell as much unless you're really close up and see all the scars I have. And I was like, okay, well then, because this is my chance, then this is my second chance to say, don't wait anymore, go for it, because you're not going to wait for the next thing to happen, then you really won't be able to go for something that you want. And that's kind of like how I lived most of my life, actually, in my 20s, where I don't want to let go of any opportunity that I have forth. So anything that I set my mind to or kind of sparks my interest, I will go for it. I have this fear, or people have different fears that drives them in their life. And for me, it's fear of regret.
Hmm.
And I don't want to regret not ever having taken a chance. If I die tomorrow, I want to say, I've done everything that I ever wanted to do, and I don't regret anything. And never do I want to be in a way where I left something on the table. And see myself when I'm old age, and some new young person comes and says, I guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go do something and I don't want to say, oh, I wanted to do that.
That could have been me. Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been me. And then think to myself and start regretting my life. Think to myself, why didn't I do those things? Why didn't I go for it? What stopped me? And the answer is just myself. I was in my own way, really. And that's actually what when I was convincing myself, because I had to convince myself that I wasn't crazy trying to pursue acting at my age, was the thought of George Clooney, for some reason, came to my mind. Somebody famous, somebody that was really made it a successful acting. And I thought, what's the difference between them and me? The only difference is they went for it. They sought to take that opportunity, and they tried and tried and tried until they caught their break. That's the only difference. They tried one more time. If I never tried or even attempt to go for it, I'll never know if that could be me too. And that is what helped me get over the whole idea of, oh, well, it's too late for you, or how are you going to pursue this at this age, something new. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to try new things.
Did you hear that from people, or is that
No, I
just yourself telling you?
That's myself telling me. I always try to find the things in life that give you purpose, and for me, and so when I know that it's something that I want, but you always have the negative thoughts. I'm my worst critic, so you have negative thoughts. It's just inevitable to try and convince you of like maybe why it's not a good idea. It's just like your your self-preservation, right?
Yeah. You're your worst critic, yeah.
Right. So when you're trying to do life-altering decisions, you weigh the pros and cons, and is this something I really want to do? Is this something that's going to benefit me? And for somebody like myself that I don't have husband or children to take care of, it's just myself. I have that freedom and ability to do it. So there's really, really nothing stopping me. It's myself. It really, if I don't go for it, it's just me.